And now, five-time Smithsonian exhibitor. He is the founder of the Benjamin Walls Galleries, founder of the international travel brand Walls About Luxury Travel, and founder of Walls Wines, Benjamin Walls.
That was a good loophole.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Very, very
Well,
capable.
it's hard to drink wine through a mask. Here we are, we're live. And that's the first thing everybody at home heard. So, hello everyone. Hello. Welcome to the Benjamin Walls Gallery in Asheville, and welcome everyone actually here in Asheville. We're only allowed to have 20 people in here, so there's a small crowd. That's what we're just chatting about, but we're very thankful for the in-person attendance. This is our second hybrid event where it's both virtual and in person, and we're very proud and excited for this. COVID has, the name of the game is pivot, right? Here we are, but there are some really silver linings to all of this. In fact, I'm able to say right now, hello from all over the country, which is pretty cool. So I want to say good day to, I can't say hello to everybody, but I noticed Robert and Susan Campbell were on. Mike and Nancy Preston are on. We've got a friend from the Jane Goodall Institute on this evening. So welcome y'all. Walls About Travelers that are going to be traveling next year. Hello. Looks like I'm waving at the wrong, I don't know. There's, you know, like in your news studio, you get the big red light. That's not, we're not that advanced yet. We're working on that. So I wanted to shout out to everyone. For those of you at home, you can actually, if you have any questions in tonight's presentation, you can literally type those questions straight in. And my gallery manager in Bristol, Will Carty, will be fielding those questions and getting those over to me this evening. And then for you all that are here in person, we can also do some Q&A. So that's kind of a fun, interactive thing that we're doing. I have three announcements this evening. First of all, the Walls Wine Bar is turning out to be a bit of a hit in downtown Asheville. So we're very pleased with the reaction, and I've always thought that this was one of the best people watching corners in downtown. So you can sit outside and have a glass of wine right there on the corner of Walnut and Broadway. If you haven't tried it out yet, come on down. Announcement number two, we have been listening to our incredible collectors, and they're spending a lot of time at home, obviously, so we've decided to make investing in your nest as easy as ever. So we are running a bit of a promo right now with that in mind. If you've been staring at that blank wall, if you're trying to beautify your space or that place that you're doing more time working or more time with the kids or whatever it may be, now is a great time to invest in your nest. So your art consultants here in the gallery, or if you want to know more about that promo at home, just scroll down the page that you're on. You'll be able to see details about that, and you can reach out to your art consultant. Announcement 3 of 3. I've spent a lot of time on the phone, as you might imagine, with the travel company in the past 6 months, and my briefings and my chats with my ground handlers in East Africa is indicating a surge is on the horizon. So if you are considering travel, especially travel to East Africa, think fast and plan. So we're planning for folks from July 2021 and beyond, all the way to 2023. And what we're totally expecting right now are folks whose trips have been delayed, and we have some of those, and are rebooking for next year. Well, that's going to happen with a lot of travel companies, and there's also this pent-up demand because we've been at home in our PJs. So the name of the game, especially from July 2021 and beyond, is watch out for the surge. So think ahead, plan ahead. That's always been my advice with travel. And one of the really cool things about planning ahead with travel is you get this special bit of magic. You get something to look forward to. I think that's so very important, especially right now with all of this mess going on. So those are my announcements, and this evening I have a couple of new pieces that I would like to share with you. The first, two colorful pieces, which I'm excited about. The first one, we're running out of wall space in this gallery. We need a bigger gallery, I think we've already decided. So just keep in mind as we unveil this one, it does size up and size down for that matter very well. I'm always a fan of the granite pieces, but this is the wall space we had. So this piece I'm calling Rocky Mountain Twilight. It was sunrise in the Central Rockies, right in between Aspen and Crested Butte, Colorado. And the sky lit up that morning. And it was a really beautiful sunrise because it mixed up both the it was a mix of both the storm and the sunrise all together in one big ball of beauty. And that day and that evening, I was in town, actually everybody saw it. So it was one of those kinds of sunrises. So I was able to capture that, and I'm very proud to be able to share it with the fall color season. So without further ado, I don't know how that works. Everybody at home is you can see what I was describing as beautiful sunrise. We've got kind of this storm that had come over, and that's where the beautiful blues are coming from. And then just the sun's cresting the peak there, which I really enjoyed about this image. As I mentioned earlier, you can size this one up or down, and it has a couple of different crops. Most folks may not know in their first original trip to the gallery that I try to create multiple crops for my work because I'm obsessed with your house. And there's not usually one You know, I was thinking about this on my walk over here this evening. It was about 16 years ago now, kind of crazy to think, that I took my first abstract reflection image, put it on the wall, and it was straight away one of the pieces that I got the most interest at. This was before I had my own signature gallery. I was represented in other galleries, and I have continued this series, and you see a number of those pieces on the wall in here. I have an image that has been a runaway success in our abstract portfolio. We call it Algorithm, and you can actually see it on the wall over there. Sorry, viewers at home. And it's a beautiful glacial carved stream in Glacier National Park. And so I actually spent some more time in that stream and to see what else I could come away with. And so I created a new piece that you're about to see that I call Analogy. It has a similar vibe as Algorithm because you've got those beautiful teal colors that you would see in Glacial Park Stream. You've got some fall colors reflecting, but it's totally different. And, you know, I'm so proud of Algorithm, but I believe that the color palette that you see in Analogy is actually more my style, my speed. So this is one that I'm really personally excited about. And so without further ado, I think they're much better at this than I am. I know, it's weird, but thank you. Thank you. So, Glacial Park Stream, Glacier National Park. This is the fall colors that are reflecting down on the stream. If you look close, you can actually see a leaf floating through this one, an aspen leaf. Does anybody know what creates the best fall colors? What weather? This is something that someone was asking me the other day. Right? It's actually dry weather and not wet weather. I hear a lot of people talk about the wet weather, but especially reds, and that's also true of the fall colors around here. Super cold and dry conditions create that. Certainly have that in this image. As you can see here, the autumn leaves that are reflecting down. I found this one aspen tree that had kind of a really bold, orangish, even reddish tone to it altogether. And if you look close, you can actually see a few of the rocks down here on the bottom of the stream. But the mineral content of the glacial water has this beautiful teal color. And then I've worked over the years to really hone the exact shutter speed that gives me this little prismatic effect. So if you look close, you can see that all of the water feels like it's actually in motion. So it's kind of a slower shutter speed, and it gives this prismatic look in different portions of the image. So both images I'm very proud of, and I'm very thankful for you all for joining us this evening. We wanted to put those two new releases back to back so we didn't hang everybody at home up for too long. So for the ones joining us here in person, please eat, drink, and be merry. I guess you just have to drink and be merry because we don't have refreshments. But we do have gourmet chocolates from Asheville Chocolate. Folks have been enjoying that. And you can join us on the wine patio right outside, as I mentioned earlier. So I hope you all will join us for that. If you have any questions for me, I'm happy to tell you more about the pieces, the work. Totally obsessed with connecting people to the natural world. And I just wanted to say one final thank you. And this has been a really big deal for my exceptional, brilliant team that you see here at the gallery tonight, that you see around in both galleries. I can tell you that my collectors and the folks that support this gallery have really stepped up, and I've had folks call me, I've had folks say, hey, how are you doing? And I know they're collecting because they want something on their wall, but I also know that a portion of that is because they really care about the incredible team that I have. They care about what we've done as a company over the years, and so I'm very, very thankful for that. So for you all, I know a number of you logged on at home. Thank you. And for you all that are here, thank you. That means the world to me in these crazy, trying times. And so thanks to you, we're still doing our thing, and we'll continue to do so. So thank you all for being here, and good evening.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Question.
Yeah, questions. Uh-oh. Sorry, Will.
So,
Questions? Yes.
online question is, what draws him to water?
You know, so the question is, what draws me to water? There's something I totally find myself sitting and watching the motion of the water. I have since I was a kid. Sometimes I see shapes, and as a really little kid, it's like all the clouds overhead, the water. You start to find shapes. The older I got, it was more just about the raw motion. So I think your brain processes, hey, this is the colors, this is the shape, this is the texture, and what kind of raw emotion do you find in that? I also am trying to share that with people through my Abstract Forest series. So same kind of things, just the overall composition of the image, the overall color and vibe of the overall vibe of the colors and the way that all comes together. So, other questions for the live audience? Yes.
Your literature mentions the Smithsonian. Would you kind of give us some details on your connection with them and how you came about exhibiting there?
Yeah, so the Smithsonian, the question is, how did I get associated with the Smithsonian? Well, basically I submitted my work and got picked out of the crowd. So I've had 5 different pieces that have been exhibited at the Smithsonian. And so with each one of those were juried exhibits, so I had to submit my work. And the stats are actually here, there, under the pieces that are displayed in the gallery, kind of the numbers, but ballpark 20 to 30,000 entries, and then out of that many entries, they pick out between 50 and 100 pieces to go into exhibit. So it's quite long odds. They have a panel jury, obviously, of some pretty prestigious jurors, and I'm very blessed and very thankful that they picked my work. This happened and this is also how originally I had pieces at the Natural History Museum in London. So again, long odds, but it's a juried exhibit, and it was actually a very validating thing for me as a young artist to be selected for those exhibits, because I was really confident with what I was doing. I was really excited about what I was doing, but to have that validation from a major institution like that was certainly an important thing for me. My first piece that was accepted to a juried exhibit, I was 23 years old. So it was a big deal for sure. And we still show those pieces today in the gallery. So they're important pieces in the portfolio, of course. So, yeah.
Are they tied to a theme, or were they just works that they liked?
It's different with a different exhibit. So there's the Winland Smith Rice International Awards, which is sponsored by FedEx. The founder of FedEx's daughter, Winland Smith Rice, was an avid photographer of natural subjects. So I guess the common theme is natural subjects with all the exhibits that I've done. The Wildlife Photographer of the Year exhibit in London, the category that my work was selected for was the Creative Visions of Nature, which is actually a piece that's right around the corner called Elements. And you even see some similarities in this piece, even though it's both reflection and the actual edges of the pool itself. But no, I guess that's always the common theme with me is nature, for sure. So.
We had some sound difficulties at the beginning of the stream. People at home are wondering how they can order an image of yours.
Okay. Well, we don't have a drop-down menu on our website where you can just click and order. And instead, I have an exceptionally brilliant team. So all you have to do is click that chat button there, and one of my team members will be in touch to give you more information about sizing, pricing, etc. And also, we custom make each and every one of our pieces, so we get really into the details of, hey, how big is your wall, and should we make this a little bigger, should we make this a little smaller, etc. So don't hesitate to reach out to us, and we'll provide pricing. The price points on the different pieces, they're all a little bit different based on the size, the frame, and then also I have a series of images called Frontier Images. This is actually so the pieces I feel like is my personal best work, the pieces that are pushing my own frontier line. I put those in a series that I call Frontier, and we create a little fewer of those images, and the price point on those definitely changes as they're sold. So because of that, you still have to reach out to one of our art consultants. We're not down to an automation on that, and we're actually quite proud of our customer service and just being able to connect with our collectors. So, yes, sir.
Yeah. When you find a view, how is it that you determine, or when is it that you know it's going to be one you're going to click, keep, and develop, and put it on the wall?
That's a great question, and I think that really varies with each image. Now, I tell people a lot of times if it's a scene that's moving quickly, like with wildlife, like the elephants behind you there, It's certainly something where, I'm clicking, as you say, and then kind of moving and just kind of feeling the whole moment out. I find myself not looking at very small details, but trying to absorb the entire frame. And then there's just something that when it feels right. The shutter just sounds sweet. And so I've heard other people talk about, sketching, my oil painter friends sketching, and then, coming up with the right sketch before they go into the painting process. So when we've kind of, maybe that's a similar process, I don't know, but basically, working the scene and knowing when the right moment is. If it's an image like the one in Rocky Mountain Twilight, that's actually something that all of this. I was shooting a lot of frames because I really didn't know what I was doing. So I was less sure of myself with exposure. I was less sure of myself of like what was the perfect, time to actually click. But at this point, film's gotten quite expensive, and also, I just really know what I like with regards to the sun setting. So I find myself going through a lot fewer frames than I used to, and that means less editing later. I'm kind of lazy. So instead of editing through just mountains and mountains of images, then I have an opportunity to just go through the best of the best. And so that's always a goal. It doesn't work as well with the wildlife, I find, because the animals are moving around so bloody much. So, but yeah, great questions. Fun. Other questions online?
Did we announce the Wallsabout site?
We have a brand new wallsabout.com. This experience is so much better than our old Wallsabout website, which was good, but the new wallsabout.com is incredible. So definitely check out wallsabout.com. There are videos of me explaining to our potential travel participants things that, when Wallsabout started, I was explaining these things in person to folks almost every day, but as we've grown as a company and as our business has grown, we wanted to put potential travelers in touch with me directly at the onset. And then, so there's just explanations and tips along the way with videos. Look for more videos to be added. There's also a traveler portal. So if you're traveling on one of our future trips, you'll receive access to the portal a few months before your trip. And you'll be able to see a few other videos from me, as well as all the different travel documents that you'll need and advice about travel. So wallsabout.com has totally taken a step to the next level. Thank you, Dr. Will Carty. I call him the doctor because he's always doctoring something. We say around the gallery, where there's a will, there's a way. And it's so true. He's got really making it happen. So he's the one handling the back end of all of this broadcast right now. So Will has done a tremendous job, and thank you, Will, for putting that together. And there's great resources there to be able to reach out. If you're considering travel, there's no substitute, even with that incredible website, there's no substitute for a 10-minute phone call with your travel consultant and myself. And we can sit down with you. Obviously, we do Zoom, Skype, phone, and in person. So we'll chat with you about the potential for travel. And so thank you. Awesome. Anybody else? Any other questions?
I'll ask you a question.
Yes.
It does seem like every time Laura and I come here, we become amazed at where you were at any given point in the day to get the shot. So how long does it take you on average to get the gorilla or alchemy or, I mean, it's like you're at the right place at the right time to hunt us.
Right.
I mean, it's really phenomenal.
Well, thank you, and thank you for noticing. So I spend. So the question is, how long do these images take? In the wild, how much time am I spending out there? I have had years where I spent as much as 6 months of the year on the road. I've had other years where the business was calling a little bit more heavily, and I spent less than that. But I definitely spend a few months each year, if you combine all my trips, on the road out there trying to capture new work. Africa may be a great example because most of my trips to East Africa, I've spent at least 3 weeks, sometimes as much as 6 or even 8 weeks on various trips. And always come home with a lot of interesting work, but there seems to always be that one, right? And so, I don't know, a month of going out on safari every morning, 5 or 6 hours in the morning, 5 or 6 hours in the evening, and just on that quest. And of course, when I'm traveling, it's a little different than your normal tourist. I might be leaving a little bit earlier and coming back a little later, and if I find something, I'm really going to stick with it. But in all of those efforts and all of those days, it's typically that one special image With the abstract work, I find it's this is one of the genres that I'm most passionate about capturing because it really boils down to recognizing something that's right in front of everybody. So this, for example, was right beside a trail in Glacier National Park, a stream. There were plenty of people out on the stream, that trail that day, running by that stream. And there was this one portion. Of course, the trail's miles long, and it's around the stream, and this light's changing. It's just that one thing that just really starts to draw my attention, and I have to capture that. So for those images, I don't know, if you just spend a lot of time outside, eventually you see what you're really enamored by. But there's less, I guess, intended direction with those pieces, because it's not like, hey, let me go just take a photo of the ripples in the water. It's just I spent a lot of time out there and noticed something that I was really enamored with, and then wanted to share that with folks. So it really varies, I guess, is the answer. So, but
Your eyes are like Savant, like, I mean, you can see the things that people just walk by every day, it sounds like.
yeah, and I strive for that as an artist. I think all artists want to connect emotionally with a viewer. I think that they strive to see things a little differently and to be able to translate a moment for everyone. And that's certainly that for me. You know, the natural world is, I fell in love with nature as a kid and began as a kid. How can I connect people? And it started with my mom. Like, how can I show mom what I found in the tree? You know, and then it just got bigger and bigger from there. But still, the mission is the same. I've fallen in love with nature. I believe that we're one of the last generations on Earth to be able to actually make a substantial difference with conservation areas. And so my driving force is, can I grow this business? Can I grow my influence? Can I grow my platform to really put a cool spotlight on that? And, you know, I think that that's something that's really apparent for somebody like me that spends an incredible amount of time outside. But we're all specialists, right? Not everybody gets to spend a silly amount of time outdoors. So if I can kind of bottle that and capture that and bring it in and share it with people, I hope that inspires them to care about the wonderful natural world that we have, to make great decisions in their daily lives, the small decisions and the large decisions alike. And I have a team that shares that vision as well. So it's fun to grow that. But to your question and comment, I think it does come back to a vision and to being able to pick out those fine art and kind of different things for folks. So, thank you. Other questions this evening? Y'all, thank you so much. Sorry, I forgot the questions at the end, Will. Gosh, I need to put that on my notes next time, right? So, but thank you all so much for joining us this evening, and we will see you next time, next month. Let me just say we've got some cool things coming down the pipe. So tune in and see what we've got coming down the line next month. We've got a major announcement and some exciting things to share. So, all right, thanks. Thank you. Oh, my mask back on, right? All right. Yeah, no, that's a great question. So March 28th. Hey, Rob, can you turn the music back on?
Yeah, of course.
March 28th.